Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I'm Sarah. This is No BS Beauty. So for today, I just thought I'd talk about drugstore brands versus other brands. Are drugstore brands worth it? What drugstore brands should you try if there are any? So, okay. So this kind of is an often debated topic in skincare, and in general, I never want to say as a rule, this is a bad brand or these are bad. These are good in general. Because really, most of the time it comes down to the individual product. But should you be saving money by buying drugstore brands versus other skincare brands? And my answer is, it depends. So when it comes to simple products such as like cleansers, I typically say spend the least amount of money on a cleanser. As long as it agrees with your skin, it spends the least amount of time on your body or on your face, like that. So if there's a cheap cleanser you like, go for it. Your skin tolerates it well, go for it. As a rule, for me, if I look into my routines morning and evening, do I use drugstore brands? Not really. Although, for cleanser, I do. I've got a couple that I like. The Vanicream one is pretty nice for spring and summer. It can be on the drying side. Bubble has some nice cleansers. Actually, their oil cleanser, hang on, is one I really like, but it's literally you put it on and rinse it off, or here's a prequel. So that's fine. I typically don't spend a ton of money on cleansers, but as long as you find one that works with you well, that's fine. If you find a cleanser that your skin just loves and it's more expensive, but you think it makes a difference in your routine, then go for it. But when it comes down to a lot of things like actives, this is where I fall off the drugstore bandwagon, because I typically think drugstore brands are made for the masses. It's made for the most amount of people that will tolerate it well and buy it and make money. It's not made based on a specific goal per se, or an expensive formula. So let me look at like La Roche-Posay. Same brand that owns La Roche-Posay also owns SkinCeuticals, same company, all of that. SkinCeuticals products made by the same company are upwards of $200 or more. La Roche-Posay, we're talking $15. There is a difference. Concentrated actives in SkinCeuticals, like their vitamin C serum, tend to be very popular. So I tend to love the Geek and Gorgeous Sea Glow vitamin C serum, and this one is priced better than a drugstore brand. Actually, it's cheaper than my next up favorite vitamin C drugstore brand, which would be Bubble. Their Daydream Serum, which is great for brightening skin. It is a good product. There's absolutely nothing wrong for it. But it is made for the most amount of people that will be able to use it, buy it, not have a reaction. Is it made with as much actives as other products might have, or have as good of benefits and results as other products that might be more expensive that aren't drugstore brands? Probably not. I mean, so these are just two exceptions or things I'll mention. When it comes to retinoids, I will say there's one caveat here. Differin, this is amazing for retinoids over the counter. It's a simple formula. How many ingredients does it have? It contains adapalene, and then it's got a couple other ingredients in it, and it's just a basic formula. So if you have skin and you want a good anti-aging product, or for fighting acne, Differin, it's great. It's a drugstore brand. They are owned, I believe, by the same brand that owns Cetaphil. Galderma, correct me if I'm wrong. But nowadays, La Roche-Posay has a Differin or Adapalene Gel. They're all the same formula, so this is one exception. So if you want just a good over-the-counter here in the U.S. anti-aging retinoid, this one's nice. You can obviously use prescription retinoids that are going to be a little bit more expensive. This one is Altrino. This one's great. Or Neutrogena makes retinoids. These ones are fine, but if I'm spending the money, this one doesn't save you that much money as opposed to using something like Differin or a strong retinol serum. So it kind of depends. So if you're looking for a good body moisturizer, who cares about it? Drugstore brands or not, unless you have certain issues with your skin you're looking to treat, like firming or exfoliating, things like that. Just a good drugstore brand. I like the Vanicream one. I do mix my copper peptides in with it. You'll see it's blue or baby blue. There you go. So I do mix to kind of customize it, but this is just a good base formula for me. There's nothing wrong with it, but it will save you some money here and there. So nothing wrong with that. But in general, drugstore brands, they just don't pack as much punch in general for aging. I have yet to try a drugstore brand that can touch what this stuff does. And this stuff is $300 or so. But this were sitting on the shelf at Ulta, I think it would probably sit there for a while, or Target. I don't think the general consumer that goes into Target is going to drop $300 on a serum, whereas you could probably sell them on a $12 cleanser, something like that. They're much more willing to spend $12 at the drop of a hat. And well, spending $300, most people are likely to go home, do their research on it, and then buy it, as opposed to just randomly drop $300 on your Target trip. It doesn't happen. So, and I still have yet to find amazing products like the Numubzin Serum. I love this stuff, or the Cosrx. These are all great. I have yet to find a drugstore product that really can compete with some of these. And saving money, K-Beauty is a great option for right now. I love a lot of K-Beauty stuff. And so I guess the point is, if you're looking for general products like a cleanser, a good moisturizer, or a body cream, drugstore brands will do. Byoma has their sensitive skin body lotion. This one's a nice brand overall. A lot of their other products, in terms of moisturizer and things, are just fine, gentle, effective, but not gonna, you're not gonna be overwhelmed with results. And I think it also depends, because I think it depends on your age as well. So say you're 20, you don't really have fine lines and wrinkles, you probably don't have hyperpigmentation or melasma. Most drugstore products are gonna be probably just fine for that age. The older you get, the more needs you start to have, and the more wrinkles and the more skin issues you start to have, and then that's when the better made stuff or a little bit more expensive stuff can come in handy. So in my opinion, if you're looking for some anti-aging stuff, The Ordinary is a great brand that is affordable and effective. And they've got a Retinol. Geek and Gorgeous is another one that's great. So you don't necessarily need to spend a ton, but so there's some nice alternatives there. But in general, for drugstore brands, my favorites would be probably Bubble, Byoma, Vanicream, CeraVe for some stuff in general. For cleansing or moisturizer, CeraVe is great. I don't really like a lot of their other actives and things like that, like CeraVe's vitamin C serum. I don't love. I didn't find it to be elegant feeling or anything like that. Their retinoids were average compared to other retinoids and anti-aging products. And do they really have any brightening products? I don't think so. So I think that's what it comes down to. Age, what your skin issues are, and how much. You know what? I'm tight with money, but honestly, I hate to talk about this one because, well, okay, here's the other one. This one's a more affordable alternative. It's still really expensive, but this stuff is a game changer. When I don't use it for a couple weeks and then go back to using it, my skin looks much better within a day or two. It's one of the handful of products that really has made a huge difference. So I think that's kind of where it ends up. So young people can probably get away with using a lot of drugstore products because they don't have fine lines and wrinkles, and the drugstore brands aren't going to do much for fine lines and wrinkles. They will help to a certain extent, but again, it's made for the masses, and most drugstore brands also own other brands that are in different categories. Again, I come back to La Roche Posay. Although for sunscreen, La Roche Posay makes some great ones, as long as you don't buy the ones that they have in the US. I don't love those, but La Roche Posay is great for sunscreens, whereas SkinCeuticals, owned by the same brand, I'm sure they have sunscreens, but I can't think of one that I've ever used. When it comes down to SkinCeuticals, most people think of their vitamin C serum, which then I come back to Geek and Gorgeous Sea Glow, which I love more than the SkinCeuticals, and it stays fresher and lasts longer. So I think in general, you're probably better looking at some K-Beauty stuff, which again is also made for the masses, but they have some more interesting, unique type products for dryness and brightening skin and things like that. Geek and Gorgeous and The Ordinary are a couple great alternatives from what we typically consider drugstore brands. But yeah, so for lotion and things, I find Vanicream fine. CeraVe's body lotions are fine. Neutrogena, they're just fine. There's nothing wrong with them. But if you have aging or other things like that going on, getting older, I think spend a little bit more. And you know what? In general, a lot of these other brands are cheaper than some of the drugstore stuff nowadays. I mean, the Geek and Gorgeous Sea Glow, I think this is like $12. It's cheaper than almost any other vitamin C serum. I think it costs less than the e.l.f. vitamin C serum, and it's much better in my opinion than the e.l.f. one. And yeah, that's just saying that as a fact. So yeah, Bubble, pretty nice. They have some good stuff, but again, I mean, their brightening serum is great, but there's still a lot of other brightening serums for stronger hyperpigmentation, things that are, in my opinion, more effective, but this is a great price point and gentle as well. So yeah, but Differin, in my opinion, is an exclusion to the rule, because this is a great retinoid product, very affordable. Most companies or stores will sell it, and it's pretty effective. If you're in the US, you can get over the counter. It's Adapalene, so, or other retinoids or Retinol are great. So anyway, curious what your thoughts are. I know it's kind of a controversial topic that gets brought up sometimes, and you know, if you find drugstore brands work great for you and you love them, go for it. If you haven't had great luck, try something else. Check out some ordinary products and try other things, because you don't, there's so many different brands and products and price points right now. You don't have to sit around with something you don't love, because there's something else out there at a good price point that will work out well for your skin. So yeah, so leave your thoughts and comments below. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys more tomorrow. Okay, bye guys.